Why do you think it's hard to become a communicator in English? Whether job interview, an important meeting you are going to have, even a meeting with your international colleagues or with colleagues that communicate in English, you know they're not that good, but when you see how they're doing it, poor English but communicating, expressing their ideas, and you go, why can't I do it? What's wrong with me? I want to run away. I want to cancel every meeting. Yeah, and every time you do, there is a cost. And the cost is your opinion that wasn't heard, your proposal, an opportunity that went to someone else, right? And a project that can go to someone else. So, why is it that others are doing it and you seem to be a challenge? Well, after 20,000 hours of working with people from 70 countries, I was able to train people in communication skills. All kinds of people, from managers to CEOs and everyone in between. People seem to communicate with me because I create the environment and I help them to express themselves. But for some reason, I found them doing a great job, and I can see it and I can project them doing it well in the future. They, you, in effect, you don't feel satisfied. You are not happy with your performance. Can it be a perfectionism? Can it be a comparison when you are comparing yourself with native speakers, other colleagues, your boss, whoever you consciously and unconsciously compare yourself with? Can it be that? Of course it is. Of course it can. I've seen this. Times and times again, successful people become students. They are leading corporations, hundreds of people, and when they switch to English, they change to someone else, less senior, less brave, less confident, less of everything. And the thought they tell themselves is this: it doesn't work. I'm not excited. I'm not using fancy vocabulary. My pronunciation is whatever. Look at him or her. They're doing it. I have lived abroad, or I didn't live abroad. I've had so many years of studies. What's wrong with me? Have you heard yourself say it? Did you feel this way? And so when that occurs, you go and try to correct everything using books and teachers and practice more. Now, when you look at the practice element part, which you have done for quite some time, and you're still not happy, doesn't it cross your mind that more practice don't lead to happiness that you are looking for? The happiness I'm talking about is you feel yourself, right? You feel joy. If I can use the word joy in corporate world, because it seems people are too freaking serious. The joy coming from you having fun communicating. The joy coming from you be at peace with how you do it. The joy coming from knowing that regardless of what will happen, you can do a good job. See what you're doing. You are listening to teachers, you're listening to educational institutions, and they tell you to study more or practice more. Two things. That's all they do. Two things. Learn more, memorize more, or practice. And I can tell you, 70% of teachers will be teaching you, which is focusing on the input, and minority of teachers will help you with the output, which is helping you to communicate. I've seen that because I've hired over 100 teachers myself, and I uh, witnessed their teaching style, and so I know quite a lot. And I didn't hire quite a lot more out of the people that I've interviewed. I had like 20, 30 people on my Skype calls every morning at 6 in the morning at 7 p.m. for for about a year and a half. No experience, just my own um, experience of helping people to communicate. And that gave me an idea. Imagine 20,000 hours working with people. Anyway, going back to you. So you're listening to them, right? And they're telling you, all of them, they're telling you the same thing. So you get about, 10, 15, 20% of teachers that will teach you to communicate, and you're quite lucky to find one because I can tell you, people have no freaking clue how to teach communication skills. Even though they say it, they end up teaching, making you read, making you watch videos, and um, what else is there? Well, since you have dissatisfaction, which is some of you feel anxious and therefore anxiety, fear, frustration, upset about you not being able to do as well as you like. You're talking about feelings. Men who are listening to this recording, there's a message to you. Please listen to this. You are logical, you are rational. I can tell you this. Be careful with your rationale when it comes to um, improving your communication skills. Why? Because more practice when it comes to language and when it comes to you being happy yourself is not the cure. The cure, the remedy, the solution is in another medium, is in another area. You don't have to agree with me. You can go and spend 100,000 hours of practicing, maybe to find yourself happy. But I can tell you this, happiness is not coming from that. Happiness is coming from you accepting your level, you happiness. Look, this is all individual. I'm right being general here from what I have seen. So happiness comes from you. Mm. To be honest with you, it's a lot to do with comments of other people. Yeah, if XYZ people will comment on your performance again and again and again, there will be a change of how you see yourself. And that's what I actually do. People come to me from all over the world, senior people, CEOs, vice presidents, people in charge. So together, in partnership, we figure out their dissatisfaction about their English, and we figure out together different ways and paths and means, solutions, not to fight it, but to overcome that. Our primary goal is not the English. English is the product, is the language that is used while we're talking about their challenges. But the bottom line is we are talking together in tandem, in union, in partnership, right? We are discovering what's stopping you. We're designing different means, ways, solutions, how to overcome that. We track your progress, whether the intervention, the change, whether our work helped or not. And we deliver what's working. We deliver you, the new updated version of you, into the world. It's a different world. It's a different set of goals because you think you need English, but what you need is the reason why you can't do that which you desire and aspire in English. And so what you need is coaching, therapy, psychological change, mindset shift, a shift in the way you look at yourself. Because I found people have challenge not with their ability, because I can clearly tell that they're doing a good job. They have a problem with the way they look at their English. Not the English itself, but the way they look at their English. And so when together we can change the way you look at yourself, at your English, everything is starting to shift. Because all of a sudden, you start to notice that uh, why are you beating yourself up? Why are you refusing your successes? Why are you dissatisfied with what you have? Why are you not canceling, right? But in a way, right? You're canceling your past successes, right? You start to notice your own limiting, cutting your successes thoughts, um, the way you see yourself, when you start to challenge those until you start to do it, you are going to face a lot of teachers, a lot of language coaches, and a lot of time spent, money as well, on trying to solve a solution, a hard skill solution, which is improving your communication skills, with a solution that requires a different approach. An approach, like I said, where you get to address, right, the dissatisfaction, the unhappy feeling you have about your ability to communicate. Because you see, at the end of the day, you can do what you aspire to do right now, but you are worried about your status. You're worried about loss of it. You're worried about how you're going to be perceived by other people. And so all of that um, creates so much tension, so much pressure on you where you have no freaking freedom. Because before you want to speak, you go, oh shit, and you start to look into all of your beliefs about your ability to communicate and imagine what uh, what it feels like to go ahead and speak. Of course, no wonder you feel like giving up. No wonder you feel upset. No wonder you feel uh, pissed off about everything that is related to English. Because it's not the English, it's the way you see it. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to offer a perspective for you, a perspective that helped a lot of people. Like I said, 20,000 people. I am in the top 1% of the world of all English teachers, language coaches, even coaches and psychologists. Why? Because of 20,000 hours of work. That's not a small thing. And I'm not an English teacher. I'm not a language coach. I have been a language coach and I have been a person relating myself to it. I'm a non-native English speaker myself. I I came to England at 16. I have gone through the same journey as you did, with pressure and hardship related to English. And I was able to, get to C2 very relatively quickly. 2.5 to 4 years. 4 years is when I took the test. IELTS test got 9.0 in speaking. But I felt native around 2.5 to 3 years. Why I say that? Because I started to understand um, English jokes, English humor. Not all, absolutely not, but I did, and that was the breakthrough. Then it's the time when I felt like, oh wow, I have mastered it, and I became a part of this environment, language, culture, and so I do know how you feel. So you I can relate to you on every level, and you don't have to listen to me. I don't care. I just wanted to record this podcast, and there are people who need to hear this. If it's you, great. If it's not, um, good, right? Everyone has their own path, and everyone has their own evolution to make and steps to take. So the message here is very simple. If you want to save your time, you do what I suggest. You come around and you experience work with me. If you want to continue the way you did, go ahead. And it's proven. You can check the statistics and see how many people who learn a second language end up speaking. You can check it all yourself. I'm not here to persuade you. I'm here to make you aware that there are things that are not working and there are things that are. I happen to see some things that provided a time saving outcome. Yeah. I'm glad you stayed to this point, to the end. And do send me a message about your opinion. Maybe you have something to say and your own observation. Maybe you agree on something or you disagree. That would be good. I would love to hear your thoughts. I wish you success in your development, and some of you who felt that some ideas that I shared you are considering to saving your time and get prepared to your outcome quicker, faster, we can do that. But the most important thing you need to take into consideration is this: don't work on your English. Work on the reason why you think your English is not good enough. When you can close that gap, you have the key because you no longer gonna care. And when you no longer gonna care about the way you communicate in English, your English is gonna run wildly to improve like a laser, like a shuttle, like a bullet train. Because you dropped the importance of it. And many people still carry it. Bye for now and see you in my experience.